Hey guys, it's Ryan here with Hobbies of Man once again, and today we're doing a top 5 manga of 2024. This is the last video of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite manga of the year were, and happy holidays, all of that stuff. So, like I said before, like I say in every one of these videos, this isn't necessarily the best manga ever. This is the most interesting manga that I read this year. It's also stuff that I read this year, not stuff that came out this year. It's not the same thing, right? So there's going to be odd things here and there. Some of it is only available in Spanish. Some of it is only available in other languages, or it's only just coming out here in the States. So be aware of that. There's going to be 5, and they're going to be in reverse order. So at the bottom is number 5, which is the first one that I'll mention. And then at the top is number 1, and that'll be the last one that I mentioned. There's not going to be any honorable mentions this time. Just because I didn't do any for the other 2 videos, and I don't feel like doing it for this one either. So let's get started here. First, we have Adam the Beginning. This is a series that I've started and read the first portion for like 4 times at this point, and I'm nearly a bit over halfway through it right now. I think I read through the first 9 volumes completely, and there's currently 17 of them out here in Spanish. In English, I think there's 8 of them out right now. They're published by Panini Manga in Mexico, and here in the States they're published by Titan, right? I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Titan. And it's a really great series. It's a retelling / prequel / new version, alternate timeline version of Astro Boy. It follows the 2 scientists that created Astro Boy in their younger days as they're learning how to be roboticists, right? Robot scientists. And they're developing this system called the Buenstein system, which is supposed to help them modulate or create AI that can actually learn, not just replicate data, right? Which is a bit different from what we have here in real life. It's something that is supposed to create feelings for the robots to feel. And it seems like there is some level of success as we follow A106, A107, and potentially an A108 later on that eventually will turn into Astro Boy, right? And it's a really interesting series. It has a little bit of a Pinocchio vibe to it, right? With A106, like being a boy made out of metal that will maybe one day become a boy made out of flesh. It also has a very interesting lean to it. There's a lot of battles and stuff, a lot of action that is robot on robot action. It reminds me of Real Steel or Rock'em Sock'em Robots. It has that sort of idea. And it's just a phenomenal read. It's really, really enjoyable. There's a lot of philosophy in it. There's a lot of thoughts and themes exploring humanity and what it means to be a person and thinking and stuff like that. And I think it's very prevalent and very meaningful to read something like this in the modern era where we have generative AI that is getting better and better with no signs of stopping, right? It's good to be afraid of it, right? Like what you might get if it becomes a Terminator, but there's also some value in learning what it could be positively, like what it could be if it becomes our friend, right? Or our tool, our pet, maybe is a good way of calling it. But it also is about the fact that once sentience is achieved, this new thing deserves autonomy and deserves rights and stuff like that, right? And that is something we can barely afford to agree on for all of humanity. What is going to happen when we have non-human intelligences, right? So it's a very good book. It's really interesting, and the fights keep you entertained in between the philosophical discussion. So it's really wonderful. I recommend it to everyone. Please give it a read if you can. I recommend the versions in Spanish just because I think those are better books than the ones available in English. But obviously, if you can only read English, get the ones in English. They should be pretty good. At least I don't remember there being any controversy about the fact that there was AI translations on it like there was for the Kamen Rider series. So it should be fine. Moving on to number 4, I decided to go with Steel of Celestial Shadows. This was a series that I was not expecting to like. I thought it was going to be kind of a weird shoujo-esque kind of series, and I guess it does have a romance element to it, but it's also very good. It's like, it reminds me a little bit of Shogun, just because it's about samurai kind of people, but it's also about this man who feels himself cursed and hates his life, and suddenly is saved by a beautiful woman that decides that he is worth the effort and the time to get to know and to deal with the difficulties that he has, right? And then suddenly she's ripped away from him. And as she's ripped away from him, he realizes that his curse is actually maybe a positive tool, a way for him to do what he needs to do to get his wife back. And so he goes on this, seemingly, it seems like he goes on this adventure, right? I've only read 2 volumes, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen going forward. And that is great. It's wonderful. It's amazing. The artwork is phenomenal. It's very different from what I'm used to in like a shonen, seinen kind of vibe. It has a little bit of a different vibe to it, but it's beautiful and it's wonderful. And I love the characters. They're all funny and interesting, and they have a lot of wackiness and perkiness to them that I really enjoy. So that's Steel of Celestial Shadows, right? Number 3 is Witch's War, or War of the Greedy Witches, or 32 Maleficent Witches Fight to the Death. I can't remember the name of it. I just go with Witch's War because that's the easiest way to remember it. This is a Record of Ragnarok clone, I guess you could call it, but focuses on women exclusively. There's 32 of them that are represented. The main one is Joan of Arc. She is basically our main character, so it's a bit different from Record of Ragnarok in that sense, where we don't have a main character. And she has to fight against 31 other phenomenal women throughout history that all have the same concept as her. They all have a singular desire that got turned into a power when they were summoned into this battle for their lives. And if they win, they will get their ultimate desire met. And so these greedy witches, these women of immense value, have to fight to the death for it, right? And these are very interesting characters. I mean, you have Joan of Arc, you have Say Wutan, you have Elizabeth, what's her name? Is it Elizabeth Mallory, or is it Carmilla? Like the lady that inspired the Vampire Tales, right? I can't remember her name. There's also Catherine the Great, I think. Madame Curie is in there as well, and that's really cool. It's really awesome. The concept is a bit different from Record of Ragnarok. It's not the same, but it is the same vibe. If you like Record of Ragnarok and one of your complaints was that there was no female characters, Witch's War is the way to go. It's very fun. I really recommend it. The first volume just came out by Yen Press earlier this month. I have been collecting it from Mexico, although it's actually from Spain. And I have the first volume here with me right now. I will get the next 2 in the next couple of days as my family members come visit to the US and bring with them the books that I've ordered. And it's a very cool series. I recommend it if you like crazy, awesome fights that feature female characters, right? Number 2 is Battle Angel Alita. I don't necessarily think that the storytelling in the first volume, which is the only part of that I've read, was that great, but I love the storytelling concept. The idea of this young girl that is a robot that wants to find herself and grow, and the fact that it's a coming of age story with a robot girl, and the artwork is phenomenal. The artwork is head and shoulders above most of the other artwork that I've ever seen in manga. It's so beautiful and so majestic and interesting and grungy, and I just freaking love it, man. And like I said, even though the storytelling isn't that great, like I don't necessarily think that I like the plot points the way they happen, and sometimes the fights are a bit too simple. The choreography that goes into them is great. The care that it seems the author put is also pretty high, even if it feels really simplistic, because everything seems to be there for a reason. Nothing feels out of place or just random for the sake of it, which is what I experienced when I read Ghost in the Shell. Like, I did not enjoy reading like the first 30 pages of that because it just felt random. Battle Angel Alita feels very thought out and planned and methodical, and I appreciate that. So that's number 2 on the list. Number 1 is Blue Lock. Now, you know, I've mentioned Blue Lock on this set of videos before in previous years, and I really don't have any new reason why Blue Lock is better than anything else I've read. I just freaking love it, dude. I just love how ridiculous it is and how edgy and grungy and unnecessarily cringy it is, but in a way that I find really fun and enjoyable, and it builds hype. And it makes me excited about soccer and about sports in a way that I've never felt excited about them before. And I like the characters, and I love the ridiculous kind of weird switch that certain characters have in certain situations where you see that this character is kind of easygoing. They're living their life, and then suddenly the soccer really gets to them, and they're like turned into monsters because of it, and it's so cool. It's so enjoyable, right? So it's a ridiculous, stupid ass series, and I understand why people might not like it just because of how cringy it is, but I like it because it is cringy. I like it because it's so freaking stupid and so ridiculous. And yet I am hyped every time fucking Isagi puts the puzzle pieces together and decides that he is now the greatest soccer player ever, even though he's clearly shown time and time again that he's not. And it's just awesome and very fun and really enjoyable. And so that's why I like Blue Lock. That's why Blue Lock is #1, right? So that's it for this video. That's the end of this 2024 season of Hobbies of a Man. Thank you guys very much for watching, for all the support that you've given me, for all of the comments and effort that you guys put into them, and for all of the likes and all of the views and everything that you guys do for me. I really do appreciate it. I didn't think I'd be doing this for as long as I have. I think at this point it's over 4 years, maybe 5 here soon. And it's been a ride. It's been awesome. I'm not going to stop anytime soon. I really like it. I just enjoy doing this a lot. And hopefully you guys enjoy watching as well. So thank you guys very much for watching. Happy holidays. Enjoy your Christmas and your Hanukkah and the Kwanzaa, Diwali, New Year's, whatever it is that you celebrate during this time of year. I hope you guys have a wonderful time and a good time with your family. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next year. See you guys later.